Okay, Catherine, so just taking a look at your video here, in terms of your notes, I just want to say try not to overthink every single rep. So it's great that you're aware of these things and writing them down and making note of them, but really try for each rep just to focus on one aspect and then judge whether you achieved that one thing. And don't overanalyze everything else, right? Just focus on that one thing that you're working on at that time. And then you can reassess and go, okay, now I'm going to focus on maybe trying to screw pickle jars a little bit. Or now I'm going to focus on trying to get a bit more hip extension, the balls to wall cue. Okay, so just one little note there. In terms of this walk up to the wall, one thing that I note is you could probably shift your weight from side to side a little more. So if you shift your weight a little more side to side, you might find it a little easier to walk in towards the wall. So that's one thing to try. Your position is actually very good, and you do a really good job of making that adjustment, okay, of pulling this in, of getting that rotation, and so your overall line is actually really nice. You're doing a good job of stacking here, so right over your balance point. So this is excellent. In terms of the balls to the wall cue, I don't think that you need it right here. That is more relevant if, say, you were in, so say you kind of went into this position. So that's very common kind of position to go into, is having the butt goes a little too far over and then it ends up piking. And so it can really just help bringing that a little closer to the wall, sliding the feet up, getting that hip extension. So for you, don't worry about that. Not really something that you need to be working on. So here, the push is fantastic. And I would just continue to focus on one, shift from side to side a little more to make that walk up feel a little easier. And then once you're up, continue to do what you're doing in terms of the line, because it's actually really fantastic. One thing to be mindful of is as you get tired, or as you stay up a long time, you can notice here you're starting to your shoulders are coming a little more forward and you're losing a little that overhead position. So as much as you can, you want to continue to push in this direction, which is going to keep you in that stacked position. Okay, you can see that now it's starting to get a little planchy, so just be aware of that. Try and feel that if it happens, when your shoulders move in this direction. You want to try and keep that straight line throughout. Okay, so I think the difference is you said your hands were a little closer here together. But again, I would say that's better. So initially, you weren't quite getting that open line through your shoulders. And now this is a little better. So yeah, these are fantastic. Just try and keep that push. So once you're up, for you do a good job of the position. You just want to make sure you maintain that push so that you can keep that straight line. Okay? So that's the one thing that I want you to be thinking about when you're doing this. Okay, so we're coming into this back to wall. I think your hand position here is great. I don't think this needs to be any closer. You can see you have a little hyperextension in that elbow. But yeah, I mean, it's a good position. So that's excellent. In terms of the head being more over to this side, I suspect that this side of your neck and shoulder is just tighter. And so you've just got a little more tension there. So you could try doing a little bit of soft tissue work on your upper traps. I'll share a video with you for that. And maybe a little stretch on your neck, very gentle. I'll share something for that too. And then go up again and see if that feels any different. We are inherently asymmetrical. And so all of us will, when we're just standing, we'll have one shoulder that drops lower than the other. So it's perfectly normal and natural, but I would just maybe because of the cartwheel work you were doing and putting more weight on that right side, there's just maybe a little more tension being held in those tissues. And so if you do a little bit of that soft tissue work that I'll share, and the neck stretch, I think that will help. But overall, this looks really good. I can see good push through your shoulders here, and good hand position. So you've made the big corrections here yourself, so that's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so for the push and lean, this actually looks really good. I like the push, and I like, I can really see you trying to get that rotation of your armpits, that screwing of the pickle jars, so I can really see that good, that's setting your shoulders up in a really stable position. In terms of your shoulder position, that's pretty good. I mean, it's kind of knuckles versus middle of the palm of your hand, so really anywhere in kind of this range is a good position. You'll notice with all hand balancers, everyone's shoulders are in a slight variation of that position. Some more on the heel of their hand, some a little more closer to the knuckles. So this is great, and good push here. Good attempt to pull up onto your tiptoes. So this looks really good. Fantastic work.